Black.
So we just let me pull up so I can see the back chat and everything. All right, let me see. All right, there we go. We got 15 viewers, man. Wait for a few more people to come on through, man. Before we get this heavyweight jam in. Peace to everybody thus far coming in. Trying to get a few more people in here before we start up. I know it's kind of late at nighttime, but whenever the energy tell you to go, you gotta go, right? I guess that's how it works, right?
That's a fact, bro.
So I got no doubt. The AP, my brother Jaguar Omac with us, and we're gonna be touching on Goree Island is a fictional story, as well as we'll be touching on people of North Sentinel Island. So with no further ado, we got 25 heads up in here, almost 30. So no further ado, ready, Jack?
Let's get it, man. You already know.
All right, so we got two articles we touching on. Peace to everybody in the chat. Peace to all the loyal subscribers and all the loyal viewers. Appreciate you, appreciate your energy, appreciate y'all coming on in, man, keeping us comfortable, keeping us company with these bills we be doing, man. You could be anywhere in the world, man, but you here with us, so that's what's up. Here's an article. I'm gonna let Jaguar touch on this, and I got another article, and we're gonna be touching on the North Sentinelese tribe as well. So I'm ready whenever you're ready. Let me mute my mic, and I'm gonna let Jaguar Omek take off.
Word, man. Shout out to UA1. Shout out AP, man. What it do, bro? Yeah, I mean, we in here, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Like you say, this is something that, hey, we just decided to really help push get out there, man. I just want to give a shout out to 1000 Go Ahead, for just happen to, checking out one of his vids, Undeniable Part 1. Like I say, about 41 seconds in, he giving it to you raw right here, Washington Post, man. I think it's dated July 1st, 2013, by Max Fisher. And it's giving you the intake on Goree Island and what basically, at that time and now what is believed to be a mythological story, or fictional, as I should say, as you see on the title here, it says the sincere fiction of Goree Island, Africa's best known slave trade memorial. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Corey Mayo. He put this out there too. So, you know, be on the lookout for many more people hopefully sharing this type of information that just shut down these uh crazy claims that are putting us elsewhere from our natural positions, man. So let's get into it a little bit. I'm gonna read just a little bit, and y'all just jump in, man, and you know, build on it too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I already done pretty much read it. It's pretty much giving you a description of what the historians are investigating about the door of no return, and basically is coming out to be pretty fictional. It's actually just being looked at as a normal residence that may have had people who worked in the residence. Maybe it was not like normal but major house, you'll later see that they are investigating it to be built in the 1770s. So we talking about after almost 100 and some years when the so-called Atlantic slave trade started. So we gotta take a good look at this. It says here, President Obama visited one of Africa's most famous memorials to the slave trade on Thursday, the House of Slaves on Senegal's Goree Island. The official story is that millions of African slaves passed through the house's door of no return, which faces west across the Atlantic. Countless visitors have come to contemplate the slave trade and to pay heartfelt tribute, including Nelson Mandela, Pope John Paul II, and the last three U.S. presidents. All right, so it's saying, people have been to this place. It's pretty much known as one of the most uh, largest slave trade ports. But we finna see what they got to say here. It says, except that the official story turns out to be largely a myth. Historians have agreed since the 1990s that the house was likely just a private residence that had nothing to do with the slave trade. Earlier, we explored this long-standing disconnect between the reality and myth of Goree Island, why it's proven so resilient, and what it says about the world's struggle to deal with this dark chapter in history. Okay. It says University of Chicago historical anthropologist Francois Richard, a West Africa scholar. Okay, let me repeat that again. A historical anthropologist, Francois Richard, a West Africa scholar, so he is from West Africa, who has studied the slave trade, has some thoughts about that disconnect between the myth and reality of Goree. Richard emphasizes the house's value as a sort of manifestation of slavery's legacy, which is still so big today that it demands this sort of totem. He reproduces a term that seems to capture the phenomenon well. It is a sincere fiction. Okay. And then you got here, man, more. He giving you basically, this is basically coming from directly from his mouth. He says, yes, there has been heated academic debate around Goree, but in the mid 90s, and quote, following a controversial article written in 1996 in Le Monde, the debates have largely been on the revisionist side, and most historians today will argue that the scale of the slave trade in Goree was likely much lower than in many other parts of Western Africa. For a variety of reasons, as he says, I should note, however, that turning the question of international slavery into a statistical exercise is not the most useful way to think about it. And sadly, that legacy has clouded academic debates more than it has helped. Says, so Goree was a transit point, though the volume of trade there was fairly low. Okay. Square quotes are important here, in quotations there. Okay. It says, though the volume of trade there was fairly low and that it ebbed and flowed over time, probably decreasing over time, especially after the 1750s, as captives were increasingly retained in Senegal to work in food production. Okay, so even then it's saying, you know, ebbed and flowed over time, probably decreasing over time, especially after the 1750s. So they saying after the 1750s, most of the people just pretty much stayed. So And I even heard, a lot of the people from Africa not coming till the late 1800s. So this, like I say, it's interesting here. Then it says here, Max here, okay, it say when Richard says fairly low, he is referring to estimates of, for example, 33,000 slaves, a huge number by every possible standard except for the actual transatlantic slave trade of several million. Man, there you have it right there, really, man. I mean, it speaks for itself. Anybody, want to comment on that? Or, I mean, it's a wrap, man. I mean, it really is.
Keep reading or keep you heard me keep reading through. Cause I read the other article and just cross reference it, and we're gonna try to just fast or whatever. But yeah, the more we put out there, the more we can laugh at this shit. So just go ahead, keep reading. I'm gonna mute my mic though.
All right, let's get it, man. All right, now here go two. This is still Francois Richard talking right here. Okay, it says yes, there was slavery on the island, but of a much different kind than the chattel slavery that was established on plantations in the Caribbean and Americas. Okay, man. So we know that we got our information discussion on how our people was, you know, going back and forth from the Caribbean and Americas. And now this is simply telling you that, the Atlantic part is basically a myth right now. But they even are speaking of plantations being established in the Caribbean and Americas. So let's keep going, man. The House of Slaves hold a huge amount of symbolic value as a place of memory, a testimony to a not so savory part of global history. In this sense, the house was erected into a myth. It says, or perhaps a term I prefer to follow sociologist Pierre Bourdieu, a sincere fiction and mobilized as memento. Okay, so just saying it's like entertainment almost. You know what I'm saying? So as far as archives will go, the house was built probably in the 1770s, thus rather late in the era of the Atlantic trade, at a point when the commerce in slaves was diminishing and when the gum trade was gaining ascendance. What's more, it was a residential structure. Upper floor were living quarters. Lower sections were probably for merchandise and magazines. And yes, the enslaved people living there were probably attached to the house. Okay, cooks, domestics, laborers, traders, etc. So it's saying that the people that was there was more than likely some type of family member or people that was already in that area, man. All right, so some people use the history or memory couplet to parse the problem of Goree's House of Slaves, i.e., history concerned with facts and memory with symbolic value and historical gravity. A mode of effective resonance absolutely central to identities in the African diaspora. It's not the most satisfying or cutting way of analyzing the phenomenon, but it has the merit of offering a point of entry. What's important to remember, though, is that while the details about the house may not be entirely exact, they do speak to a deeper historical truth, namely the experience and infamy of turning humanity into a commodity. Okay, describes. Okay, say a point of entry is a nice way to describe Goree's famous monument. which is, after all, a literal entry point, the door of no return. As some scholars have written, even if slaves never really exited through the door, members of the African diaspora created by slavery have since used the site as a way to engage with that legacy, making it sort of like a door of return to a past that was very real, even if the symbol's official history is not. So it's letting you know right there that, they wrote it basically to, keep a legacy going and just, help people cope with their history, man. So it says President Obama in his solemn visit there Thursday seems to have had a similar experience, even if it was based on a small myth within a much larger truth. All right. And that's pretty much it on that one, man. So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? Washington Post. Yeah, man.
So they
That's
said that
heavyweight
joint
news.
wasn't built. Man, they said that joint wasn't built to the 1700s, man. I thought they was bringing people here since 1619.
Okay. Somebody got some explaining
You
to
see what
do.
I'm saying? Man, yo, the explaining is that they would send people from here to see. This is the total explanation. What we don't understand, and even our own people who within our community don't understand. Show me some documentation that is calling these people African. Other than that, you cannot prove that they brought in African because we know that they enslaved up to 6 million people here in North America alone, okay? And where was their favorite places to send these people at? Whether we was in Massachusetts, New York, Virginia, Louisiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Charleston, Georgia, where was their favorite place to send these people at? To the Caribbean. But wait, it gets better. There was already Negroes there to begin with because Columbus tells you this. Plus, they found in the article, the one I normally pull up, Trevor Brixton and Julian, they find a whole mound of Negro skulls there, skeletons and cranial. Okay? Oh, and they found these same people in Barbados, Cuba, Brazil. They telling you all the places where they find these same consistent skeletons at. Right? So my thing is this, right? We're being told this from a lot because the whole point is we ain't supposed to know that was already Negroes in North America. But there's a famous picture, and I don't feel like pulling up at this moment, though, but you can see George Washington and other English officials talking to the damn rooms that got fucking turbans on their head.
That's right.
And they're clearly talking to them. And then the people sit up there, oh no, them Africans that got free. Yo, people will make up any story there is to keep this whole African myth going. Why can't there be people all over the place that was melanated that resemble African? And then they would try to say, well, damn, you know what? Because you're not, you was found in America and you wasn't on Africa, that don't make you African. Exactly. That's what we've been fucking trying to tell you the whole time. Understand? So I'm gonna read another article real quick, and we're gonna get into the North Center need. But I just want to read this one, just have something to back up. Point of it is, let me see something real quick. Let me open up a little bit. You got something you want to say about that, AP?
Nah, y'all pretty much touched on it. I mean, the gig is up. I mean, the story keeps showing you the fabrication and the historical fallacies that's been told to our people. Not only told to our people, forced on our people as actual truth. So what we trying to do is make you cognizant of what's really going on and what your true history could possibly be. We ain't saying everybody is motherfucking Aborigines because some of you niggas might be African or Mongoloid. But we talking to the people that's having a hard time figuring out who they are. And we just trying to make it a little easier for you.
my brother. All right, so like Jag is read, that was from the Washington Post. This is from the Chicago Tribune, and this states fact versus fiction. A slave house. All right, take my mama. Let's proceed. So it says standing on an elegant carved stairway in Senegal, framed slave house. Joe hold a pair of black iron shackles to recite the horrors of the Atlantic slave trade. Okay, now this is what he says. More than 20 million Africans left through these houses, notorious door of no return, bound for a nightmarish voyage to America, Nadai said. Even before departure, families were separated and children thrown into chain into their own, to their own drink. It's a stone holding cell. Today marked with a sign in French, if infants. It's a African captured, judged worthless, slaves were tossed to the sharks. Okay, now remember, now this is going to get real ugly for these people, right? Because we know that the French did not slave no damn 20 million people. Between all of the so-called European nations that bought slaves here, it was only 12 million. Now he's saying that the French alone, he's saying that this is a French slave. He's saying that infant is a slave, is a French word. All right. So now let's keep it moving. All right. It say during the 3-month-long voyage by ship, 25% to 30% the shackled men and women aboard died from cramped conditions, bad food, and water and diseases. Young men was raped by the crew members, and once in the New World, the Africans were slaughtered like animals by potential buyers and sold by numbers based on their weight and condition. Nadai said that's where get your ass out of here. Sorry about that, y'all. Damn cat, man. It's a fucking hard-headed ass cat. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. So that's where people said goodbye forever to Africa. Said the slave house, long time corridor say, and historians gesturing dramatically towards the house famous stone door high above the bank of black rocks edging the Atlantic Ocean. Goree Island, he said, was Africa's largest and last port of exit for slaves. All right, now this nigga want to keep this shit going. Let's just keep it moving. The problem historians now say is that much of Nadai's heart-rending story is simply fiction. You see how this motherfucker sat here and had us sitting up, oh shit. So let me keep reading, all right? The problem is historians now say is that much of Nadai's heart-rending story is simply fiction. Number of questions, all right? It say of the estimated 10 million African captured and put. Now they saying 10 million. First they tell you 12 on slavevoice.org, but it's of the estimated 10 million African captured and put on ships throughout Africa during the 4th century slave trade. Say at most 30,000 left Goree Island. Probably none of them through the slave house, argued Philip Curtin, a retired historian and slave trade expert at Johns Hopkins University. The salmon colored house, built in 1775 through 1778. The salmon colored house, built in 1775 through 1778. Okay. That is almost 165 years. Well, I would say 156 years after 1619. Now, we already done tore the 1619 story to shreds, all right? It say, as the home of a wealthy trader is architecturally one of the finest houses on Goree. Certainly not a place where slaves would be kept, he said. Oh my God. Okay, so he said one of the finest houses on Goree. Now, if you watch this Uncle Tom Negro Gates, basically is one of the fucking reasons why we having problems with claiming our motherfucking nationality of us being here, because he been basically keep the lie up. You see him there. He's sitting in there telling the story. Oh yeah, he telling the same story that Nadav's telling. But here you got this guy saying that the salmon colored house built in 1775. Now remember, they stopped the importation of all Negroes in 1808. Okay, so this is, I want to say 30 years for the time after it was fully built in 1778, 1798, 1808. That is 30 years, okay? So he's saying 30 years they supposed to have brought all these so slaves here, but they're a little late in the game, as we can see. As the home of the wealthy trader, is architecturally one of the finest houses on Goree. Not a place where slaves would be kept. He said, instead, Africans captured in the regions left continent via major slave shipping points established at most accessible mounts in Senegal and Gambia River, places where no history of slave trading past remains. Okay, now I said where no history of slave trading past remains, because there wasn't no slave trading in that region. Okay, now it say while the conditions African slave faced were undoubtedly horrific, the slave Corrigan said is a hoax. Okay. He said it's a fucking hoax, okay? He said Goree was majorly a slave trade. He said, no, I'm sorry. He said, and Goree was marginal to the slave trade, while doubts about the frame houses history has been circulating since at least the late 1950s. They haven't stopped tens of thousands of visitors a year from touring the site, which has become an emotional symbol of one of the darkest periods in African history. President Bush, his predecessor, Bill Clinton, made his trip, and as did former South African President Nelson Mandela and Pope John Paul, just like Jack mentioned. It's a visitor book of the slave house is filled with passionate entries from African American tourists. Look, at least see how they sell our people out, yo. You see, and this is the reason why we do this shit, all right? And this is the reason why you constantly see us trying to get on other platforms to basically debate these Pan-Africans. It's not to be sitting on no fucking couch. It's not to be sitting in there sharpening no fucking short swords up like one person once mentioned before. This is to wake up some of the fucking walking dead, so they won't go over this. They won't be one of the passionate entries from African American tourists. So they won't even think about visiting up there over there, okay? It say who have made Goree Island, Africa, top destination for slave descendants seeking their roots. So you got people going over there seeking their roots, and this shit was built in 1775 through 1778. See,
Come
you know
on,
what?
man.
See, we
Rip the ass
Jack,
out,
what?
man. Rip them, man.
Bro, you see them, and you know the sad part is, Jack. Look, I just left school, y'all. All right, and I'm gonna keep it 100. Okay, but guess what? I got knowledge of self, and I got the science of the world. So I ain't got. I don't take school literally like a lot of other people take it. All right, I'm just going there. I'm on disability. I need something to do. I want to go ahead and just get this degree just to keep it moving. All right. Whether or not if I take a motherfucking degree and put a fucking A for fucking cushion it and smoke the motherfucker, who cares? If I make a paper airplane out of the damn degree, who cares? Okay, but just believe you got these Negroes, right, who stand on their degrees. Who, oh man, the white man gonna tell. Why would the white man lie to you? Why would they lie to you? And then they giving you people who basically sitting up here telling your dumb asses, But
Word.
you won't check into that. You won't even check into that, though. You won't even look and say, because my thing is this, right? This how my mind works. My mind works like this, right? We get the official story from the so-called experts, right? But if one person is willing to come out and challenge the motherfucking expert, I need to hear his story and to see if whether or not that may fit the narrative or do it make sense. But black people are caught up, and when I say black people, I mean black people. Black people are so caught up with this fantasy of them being brought over here, and they want all this so. No, they enslaved you on your own land, you damn idiots, which is much worse than being brought over here on any ship. They then basically deported you mentally, told you were African American, lied to you about people here supposed to be Indians, and then you look at these people and you would even say, well, the Native Americans went, and you don't even know that you are that. Not the Native American, but you're Aborigine, Indigenous, or whatever tribe you belong to, which most of us cannot connect ourselves to the tribe we came from. Turtle Gang and Raymond Watson. And no disrespect to them brothers, because them brothers be trying to do what they can. But even if you look back in your past, my brothers, you still cannot find it, because some of us are cut off at the time that they was enslaved and moved around. So if you was naturally in New York and ended up in Charleston, okay, and you can't remember what your last name was or what your people's last name was, then how the fuck is you gonna connect them back to any tribe? So them people who can't find and connect themselves to no tribe, so they just supposed to just be African Americans then, right? No matter if you try. And this the thing. You're not painting a broad stroke to say that it was black people here, or it was people who can be classified as Negro here, because they on these fucking plantations, or they go to these powwows where it's a lot of people of different diversity that's claiming to be Indian. You won't even stand up and say, well, listen, man, all of these people came from this guy right here, or the real original people looked at like this guy right here. Give us a template. Don't give us, oh man, it was all these different people here, because the images do not prove that. And the images from people who came here, and these people whether it was in Nova Scotia, whether it was in fucking Carolina, whether it was in Florida, whether it was in the Caribbean, all the descriptions of what these people say they look like is consistent with the people who we tie them to. All right, so let me get finished reading. Let me read some more. All right, so remember this. So look, a visitor book at the slave house is filled with passionate entries from African American tourists who made Goree Island America's top destination for slave descendants seeking their roots, which is a mind control experiment. This is an experience of a lifetime. Look, listen to this. Listen, in quotations, okay? This is an experience of a lifetime, a closeness to our past ancestry that bring us full circle, wrote one visitor. Another spoke of being moved to tears at the door of no return. The fitting story, Nadai, the man Curtin calls the leading figure supporting this hoax, has little patience with questions about the house disputed history, okay? Everyone is free to say what they want, but I know history, he insisted, leaning back in his chair in the house, busy ticket room cramped with photos of celebrity visitors and letters of appreciation addressed to him. Now, this nigga want fame, and this nigga just lying to our fucking people. This nigga is lying to our people so he can get visitors there, so they can have all. Yo, man, listen, like I said, man, don't let me meet up with this guy, man. We gonna have some choice words for him, arguing him to keep Goree history alive. He said, we are aware of our own history. Look, he making this shit up. Even the island historic museum, however, disputes some of the slave house curators. Say facts. Goree Island was never a major slave center. Guys, I'm sorry, was never a major slave center. It say guys dare say. It say the number of slaves who left Africa is about 10 million. Now, this is the story that they get. It say half of 20 million the die claims left the slave house alone. Now look, listen to this shit right here. I pointed that out when we first got to when I first started reading this, right? Listen to this, all right? One more time. It say even the Island Historical Museum, however, disputes some of the slave house corridor facts. Goree Island was never a major slave center. Guide. So they saying that the guys that work there is saying this shit, okay? They say the number of slaves who left Africa is about 10 million. Half of the 20 million Nadai claims. So this nigga then boofed this shit up, said that 20 million people left from there, only 30%. And listen, if 20 million people left there and 10.7 made it here, that would be a little over like 47, 46% of people to make it. No, I'm gonna say 53% of the people made it here. 46% of the people didn't make it. He said more like 20 to 30%. Now check this out. He says, and while the conditions slaves faced on crossing the Atlantic was barely imaginable. And they said was barely imaginable because can't no wooden ships make no. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. After 2 or 3 times coming across there, they couldn't pay nobody to come across them rough ass ocean. Motherfucker be like that. Nigga be like, man, I ain't going back over there. Shit ain't gonna work. Nah, that shit ain't gonna work. But they gonna keep telling. Now, what makes a lot more sense was the 6 million people that they enslaved here that are on all these so-called plantations with these so-called Africans. Well, where are they at? Where are they at on the census? Where are they at on the census? Now, Brother Garfield will tell you, oh, well, some of them was having 20 children. Was like, listen, really? Stop it. Stop it. Where's the 6 million people that they enslaved here and sent to the Caribbean? Where are they at? Because you claiming there's already black people in the Caribbean. Let's just point it out. They were shipping Indians who was classified as black and Negroes to the Caribbean as well. So maybe the people that they was bringing in that you assume to be Africans was indigenous people from the Caribbean already.
Facts.
Now Columbus has said when they encountered that they met people who was black as night. Along with all the other stories that they're hearing. But you know what, though? But people don't want to admit. People see, the killer is this. Once you start pointing out to people that there was already Negroes in the Caribbean, and in Brazil, and in all these places, that's going to shake shit up. Because then people want to say, well, nah, we're indigenous then. Because you cannot prove to me which one was an African, because the record's only going to say Negroes from the Caribbean. But they had to tell you that they dropped off all the slaves in the Caribbean to keep that story going. But like I tell people, when you do algebra, when you solving for X, let's say you solve for X and you solving for Y. And they give you the number to X. They give you X equals 5. Y is unknown, okay? If we don't get the number to Y, we can't solve and create and be successful with the algebraic problem. We can't solve the problem. There is an unknown factor. The unknown factor to all this shit is the 6 million people, which we know was more. They killed a lot of people off. And you hear about them saying how they crushed the bones and used our bodies for fertilizers. Well, yeah, I've heard these stories, okay? They crushed a lot of bones of the people who was here, used a lot of our ancestors for fertilizers, plus ate some of them too. You know what I'm saying? So, where's 6 million at? Where's 6 million that was in Massachusetts, in New York, in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, fucking Alabama, Tennessee, all these places, Louisiana. And I'm about to do something on Louisiana in a minute, showing you that the Nazca Indians was already practicing voodoo. So if the Nazca, so now hold up, so the Nazca Indians was practicing voodoo already. The French was enslaving the Nazca Indians. Where did the French send them at? What people we know that the French enslaved that practice voodoo?
No, they already they know that
yeah,
these spiritual systems are older over here. They know that.
Yeah, but check this out though. In the same breath, they telling you that the acts that they brought here practice voodoo too, which is a fucking lie. It's like they would tell you that the Africans that they took to Brazil brought caprella over there. No, they was already practicing that shit over there already. When the Portuguese took them from there, they took them to African colony. They colonized a lot of these people in Africa, and they took their spirit, and they don't look at it from that perspective. So let me get finished with this, man. Let me get finished with it because we got some other shit we're gonna touch on. All right. So they said the number of slaves who left Africa is about 10 million. Half of the 20 million Nadai claims left the slave house alone. And while the condition slaves faced on the ship crossing the Atlantic was barely imaginable, with millions dying from scurvy, lack of space, and other causes, the death rate was 23.6% to start of the trade under the English from 1680 through 1688 and fell to 95% by 1795 through 1811, when the Portuguese controlled the slave trade well below the 25% to 30% range Nadai claims. Now check this out. We already touched on that. See, only an ignorant nigga who know the history will miss that part. Still, some historians say even if slave house never housed many slaves, having a symbol of the horror of African past and place, descendants of its victims can visit and grieve and feel a connection is perhaps more important than the detail of history itself. African Americans didn't choose to go to America as slaves, Nadai said. That is the reality. No, we're not African, and we are the only American. We are the copper color Aborigines found here by Europeans. But these Africans want to keep this story going. And I'm not saying all my Caribbean brothers, because you got brothers like Copper Hot Seat. They doing some wonderful work. Other brother, Takarian, he doing some good work. Niggas like Garfield and niggas like some of these other people who want to keep this. Let's get a Pan-American thing going on before we can stretch it out to Africa. Okay, let's get a Pan-American. Let's be agreeing in America first before we can stretch it out all through the world. Okay, so look, man, that's 2 articles which we get based. Now you will have a nigga who is somebody dealing with their opinion, but yet you have people who have credibility. This man said he studied the slave trade. Okay, he said he studied the slave trade. And now let me get this brother name. Let me get this joker name, man, just so I can use. We need this. I need that source. Let me see if I can find a brother. All right, his name Philip Corton. Okay, so I'm quite sure if we look up him, we'll find some more information on this, why he's pretty much saying, like I said, because when you bringing this news to people, they want to hear, well, all right, look up Philip Corton, look up him. Oh, this is out of a newspaper. This is not true. Well, we source here. We have a brother who said he's a retired historian and slave trade expert at Johns Hopkins University. Okay? Now, I'm not naive to none of this shit. I'm not naive. I don't believe everything I hear. I just don't. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not naive at all. But this nigga, he already jumped out of the window. He already jumped out the window. Listen to what this motherfucker said. He jumped out the window by saying more than 20 million Africans left the house. Okay? Now, we find some things that was strange, because he's saying that the French is saying that the sign, the language was written in French or whatever, but we know that the French was not bringing Africans over here like that. The French went to, man, like I said, I'm about to do something on that, on the Louisiana section, and let y'all know that most of the people of IT was already there, and it was more brothers who was brought there from that was part of the Nash chat, that when they got there, they started the rebellion, and they was the ones that started this shit. Okay? But they don't want to, a lot of people don't want to mention this shit, man. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, shout out to Brother Jack. I actually seen this. I'm gonna say I seen this before, and I actually got a picture of the article in my computer over here. But Jaguar, man, he was doing research like he always doing, and he was telling me about it the other day, and I'm like, yo, you gotta find that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gonna need that. And then when he was telling me about it, didn't I say something about President Obama when you mentioned the article, Jack?
Yeah, I had just told you. You said, man, I seen the article like that with President Obama on it. I said, man, that's exactly how it looked like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like I said, but that's what I'm saying though. But like, be like, still like. So that shit ain't. That's listen, bro. Like, it's so much information that I have heard through this time of doing research, man. My mind can't hold it. So
Word.
definitely thank you, brother. 1,000, go ahead. If you're not subscribed, 1,000, go ahead. Please go subscribe to the brother. Like I
Yeah,
said, 1,000, go ahead is one of the brothers who turned me on to a lot of this information, man. Him, Tyrone Street, Johnny Aborigine, and Ab the Legend. It was Ab the Legend too. Ab the Legend, 1,000, go ahead, Tyrone Street, and Johnny Aborigine. They was the main. Now hold up. I gotta give credit to my brother Duca Tiz, because he was the first one. Duca Tiz was the first brother who turned me on to this. Him and Aline Bay and Yafa Bay. They was the first ones that turned me on to this. So well before I seen the Tyrone Street video. Well, no. Tyrone Street did have Yafa Bay on there, but Duca Tiz was the main one stating this shit, saying it, that made me really start really looking for these articles and looking for videos basically stating stuff. I didn't, when he was saying, I thought he was making this, I thought he was just like, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was just like rambling with some stuff or whatever, though. But he was like, yo, he was saying he used to always talk about this shit, man. And I always talk about the Cherokees and how they was amalgamating people and how they was moving us, and how he was one of the first brothers that said that the slave trade started in reverse. Okay. So I mean, like I said, you got a lot of brothers who saying that now, but my brother ain't said the Duke of Tish, whether people believe the Moors or you don't believe in it, I could care less. That's my brother, and I'm thankful to have met the brother. I'm thankful to have spoke to the brother, and I'm thankful for the brother work to where we right now talking about this. I don't stand on the Moorish doctrine. I am an Aborigine in North America of the Aniyawanya or the Tasaugi tribe. Like I said, Creek. I got a little Seminole and a little Yamasee in my family as well. You understand what I'm saying? But nonetheless, still my brother. Brother have brought a lot of information. He tell you that we Aborigines. Most play the song in the beginning that comes on with him and his beautiful wife. Singing rapping to the song. It's a nice song, man. I definitely enjoy the song. But like I said, man, definitely shout out to brother Jag for doing the research that he do, man. So now I'm gonna get into the other part of what we was going on. We was basically touching on the North Sentinelese people. So let me pull this up. And I want to show y'all something too. This shit is funny, y'all. Y'all gonna bug out on this. All right. All right. So just give it a second to load. All right, hold on for a second. Let me just because some of these videos be taking it to load.
Hey, big bro, A1, I sent you some stuff on that new Sentinel Island. Send it to your phone if you want to check it out.
All right, I got you.
I'm gonna step away for a
What
few
you
seconds.
got?
I'll be right back, bro.
Well, if you got something on this, I see you just pulled up some good stuff right here. We need to expound on this, bro. All right, well, I'm gonna be reading. So when you come back, expound on what you sent me, as well as I'm gonna definitely look through it though.
Okay,
But
I'll explain a little bit. Give me about 10 minutes.
all right, no doubt. All right, so it said if you visit this forbidden island, the residents will kill you. All right. All right, so I'll show you a quick video real quick of some people who went out there. It's just moving a little slow, y'all, so just bear with me. All right, say isolated tribe attacks film crew trying to make. All right, so let's play this. My bad, hold up. My bad, y'all. Let's play a little slow. And when you wake, the victim is your love. A member of our film unit was wounded by one of the many arrows, each 2.5 meters long. Look. Carried his scar. Yes. But has this experience helped us to understand the nature of primitive man or of modern man? The Sentinelese want to have anything to do. Are they right? Is the Stone Age preferable to the nuclear age? These ineffective arrows and spears, do they not convey some message from the past, which intellectual man perhaps forgotten? That's the end of that, y'all. That shit was running slow as hell, y'all. But that's pretty much the people who killed that Mary. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop this shit before. Hold up. All right. Let me see. All right, cause this like mostly sometimes these fucking articles be moving mad slow. Get a little bit of it. All right, so it say North Sentinel Island is situated in the middle of the Indian between Sialak and Thailand in India. This tribe is called the Sentinel. It say have lived on the remote land, who boast sand, sun, forest, and exotic foods for over 60,000 years. But the nearest you go, no, I'm sorry, the nearest you'll ever get to seeing it for yourself is watching it in above video, because if you go anywhere near its inhabitants will kill you. All right. Now, I wonder, did my man already know that shit when he went down there? But you know how these Europeans is. They think they can just go, I'm saying, and just like, oh, God, God. You understand what I'm saying? They got their own beliefs. Just like the devil all trying to go somewhere, and that's what they do. They send 3 or 4 people there, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then next you know, they got the whole island for themselves. Now look at this shit right here, right? Now it says a mummy of the Dini tribe. It say despite smoke mummifications being no longer practice, it say the Dini tribes people still preserve of mummies, some a few hundred years old, as a symbol of their highest respect for ancestors, which is in recent years has attracted tourists from around the world. Now check this out. Now these people ain't never come in contact with none of the people we know or none of the traditions we know. These people are not from Egypt. They're not from the Americas. So how would these people know about mummifying people? Now look at these people. Look at these people, man. I know those who look like these, look just like this brother. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what these people from Africa too? So you want me to believe that these people came from Africa too? Let me see. Let's. This is the mummy, and look, you see what he got in his head, right? Jag.
Yeah,
Jag.
got a feather on his head, huh?
You see, that's right. He got his head. See, bro. And like I said, now hold up. Let me see something. All right. This is a motherfucking black man. Come here to this country, they're gonna classify him as a Negro. Okay? Look, they're in the canoes. Look. So if this man right here come here and put on a pair of Jordans and put a fitted hat on backwards, he not gonna be classified a Negro. But niggas sitting at the African. From Africa, saying everybody is an African, and this is the fucking foolishness, man, in which we are told. Now, most of y'all already heard the story about this guy who went out there and got murdered, and the police tried to go out there and they chased the police out of there. Now, like I said, man, I hope them people be able to stand up, because we know how this devil get down. This devil, for some reason, don't like to lose, and will be a loss for him just to have one crocodile there or whatever. But just hold them brothers and sisters out there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got these there the same way they came here, man. The same way they came here. Niggas should have seen them coming and just start letting off arrows on them. Like, nah, here. But I guess we already had people that were over here on boats. That's the reason why the banana and the tailpipe, because it was already people coming back and forth over here. You understand?
Yeah, right.
And this is a fact. This is a fact. This is the reason why we done seen boats already over here. We've been trading with people forever, man. You understand what I'm saying? We've been trading with people forever. This is the reason why we fell for the banana and tailpipe, because it had the body that we knew, or from, you know what I'm saying, that was going back and forth over to these other lands that came back here and brought the Europeans here. So let me just touch on. Let me just show y'all. All right. So look.
And actually, little buddy that went to the island actually knew that he wasn't supposed to go to the island. It's been a law passed there for the last 5 years that nobody can go to that island by the Indian government. And also the person who's driving the boat, who he paid to take him there, also told him that, you know, it could be possibly death coming to this island. So, you know, and then
what happened to the nigga on the boat?
The nigga on the boat getting charged.
The nigga on the boat.
They done snatched him up and charging him with some shit for even taking him there. But, you know, he survived because he already knew what the deal he was. The Christian guy wanted to go spread the same shit that the colonizers try to do on us, and them niggas weren't having it on that island. Same way we weren't having it on that island. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact.
That's right. So let me read a little bit of this right here. So it's a U.S. missionary killed by the Sentinelese tribemen on a remote island after trespassing. Now, most of us already heard this shit though, but I just want to just really touch on a little bit. All right, so it's a Survival International, a non-governmental group that says it is dedicated to tribal people rights, said that the Sentinelese have shown again and again that they want to be left alone and their wishes should be respected. But these motherfuckers, they want to go around the world and colonize everywhere. They want to fucking just force their colonization among people, okay? And this motherfucker is a prime example of what should have been done here in this land when people first came here. But like we said, it was already people coming back off, man. You see how they unloaded on that boat with them big ass arrows, man? Them arrows was like 2 feet long, bro. You saw they was unloading. They was just like, nah, fuck that. Look, it's like, look, nah, fuck that. Y'all ain't coming here. Check this out. So CNN, an American Christian believed to have been a missionary, appears to have been killed by tribes people on a remote island, hundreds of miles off the coast of India, according to officials. Deependra Paha, Director General of Police of Andaman and the Nicobar Islands, told CNN that 27-year-old John Allen Chuyu went to India on a tourist visa, but visited the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands in October with an express purpose of proselytizing, whatever. It say, we refuse to call him a tourist. Yes, he came on a tourist visa, but he came with a specific person to preach and to preach on a prohibited island. Pat Hack says on Chayu Instagram page, his relatives describe who they say he was and said they forgave those who took his life. You ain't got no choice, motherfucker. He ain't want to be bothered with him. You ain't gonna go to the island and address them. So you ain't got no choice. To others who was Christian missionaries, a wilderness EMT, an international soccer coach, and a mountaineer, he loved God. It's a life, he loved God, life, helping those in need, and had nothing but love for the Sentinelese people. How you had nothing but love for them and they didn't love you? They didn't know you. So how you have love for them? You was fucking. And this is how these people do. These people will study people and they sit there and like, oh man, these people are the best and all this other shit. And you try to go out there and colonize them and with taking them Jesus Christ, and they had a plan for your ass. They had a plan for you. They say the family said it forget those who took his life. They say North Sentinel Island is inhabited by the Sentinelese. They say just a dozen of people are official tour thought to live on a remote island. The island is a protected area, and the people are not allowed to go within 5 nautical miles of it after previous incidents of aggressive behavior towards outsiders was observed. Survival International and non-governmental group said that it dedicated to tribal people rights, said that the Sentinels have shown again and again that they want to be left alone and their wishes should be respected. Okay, now check it out. Let's see where this island is at. Okay, let's see where this island is at. Because these people swear these people just left Africa just to move an island in the middle of the fucking ocean. I mean, come on, man. Like niggas is so ridiculous with this Africa shit, man. And we gotta stop this shit, man. We gotta really stop this foolishness, man. And you know, these niggas, these Pan-Africans are obsessed with Africa, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Now look, see the red dot right here? This is where this is where the island at, okay? Now look at all the islands that's around it. You got India right here. You got Thailand, Melanesia. You got Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, Papua New Guinea. Look at all these islands around. So these people will tell you that these people left Africa somewhere, traveled all the way over here, and just say, oh, here go an island in the middle of nowhere. Let's stay here. But I thought Africa has everything. So why is everybody leaving Africa? Because these people was never on fucking Africa. And I guarantee you that these other islands, Cambodia, Vietnam, I guarantee you that these people, the indigenous people of these lands, looked just like these people. But they probably killed them all, and they hiding most of them. It's people in Cambodia that look just like these people. Same thing with Melanesia, same thing with these islands out here. But they sitting up there lying to you, okay? So now look, this is what the people look like. Well, they got that picture right there. I'm shooting that bow and arrow. But I mean, it's gonna be somebody gonna try to go out there and try to colonize them, man. I guarantee you somebody gonna go out there with that bullshit and try to colonize them. I guarantee you, because this is how these people do. Now look at these people, man. These people don't look like us. And this is all the way on the other side of the fucking world. So man, listen, man. We're indigenous here, y'all. All right. Stop letting people lie to it. We just showed you that the island of Goree Island was a damn hoax. But people still gonna push that same narrative. You got this idiot talking about 20 million people left from there when the records itself say only 12 million people left and 10 million people arrived. So 12 million people boarded and 10.7 million people disembarked. Okay, now you see these people look like, man. Now, like I said, man, like, you know, the gig is up, man. You can keep on lying to us, man, telling us, look at these people, man. I don't know what they got going on here. This Papua New Guinea right here. Well, look at these people, man. This the brother right here that this one. Now look. Now look at these niggas. Look at these motherfuckers, man. These niggas don't look like motherfuckers from over here, man. This nigga right here don't look like a black Indian from over here, man. Now I'm not saying he is, but I'm just telling you that around the world was people. It was black people look just like him all around the world. So why? This is Asia right here, man. This is Asia. This is Asia right here. India and China. Okay, so even in these little islands out here, you can find more black people. Oh no, they left from Africa, jumped on a boat, and said, "Oh, let's live here on this island right in the middle of nowhere." When they had a big ass landmass, because they never left Africa. They never was on Africa. So, you know, like I said, man, you know, people tell you whatever they want to tell you, but we doing the work. And like I said, I said myself that the lie is being told a lie, that it was black people all around the fucking world, yo, in different regions in different countries, or people who we classify as black. I know it's no such thing as a black person. I know black means pale. I know black is a color. I know if you told them people that they was black, they probably would look at you and probably spear your ass to death or shoot your ass with one of them arrows, though. But at the same token, though, this is the classification that's being put on us. And if these people were somehow to come to the Americas, they would have the same classification on them. All right. So at the end of the day, man, y'all got to do y'all research. Continue to do the research and continue to watch these channels in which brothers like me and then other brothers out here who put the research out there, so we can connect ourselves to our people, man. Because like I said, man, at the end of the day, man, we gotta know who we are, man. Because we done been lied to time and time and time and time and time and time again. And I'm just fucking tired of it. And you got other people who come here and tell you pretty much the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They come here and tell us the same thing. They tell us that these Goree Islands is real. Meanwhile, you got people who challenging it. If like I said, and that go to show you that a lot of these Europeans are not, I ain't gonna say that they not, but they don't, if they see something that's inconsistent, they gonna put it out there. But you gonna have brothers, like you gonna have your own people challenging it. So therefore, you're gonna be like, nah, you know, they, you know, this is true because a black man saying it. Why would he lie? And da 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 da. But yet you have brothers out here. You have white people, man, who come out here telling you the truth, man. So, like I said, man, AP, a Jag or AP? I can't see the screen right now.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Look at this brother right here, man. You see this brother right here?
I'm telling you, man. I mean,
Now this is Middle Asia. So you think somebody, can you listen, and let me tell you something, right? People is not just gonna migrate across no motherfucking ocean for nothing. Okay? Unless they was already there. Who gonna listen? Like, okay, think of it like this. People travel now because there's grocery stores and there's other sources where you can spend a finite, where you have some type of resources to barter or you can trade with. Okay, you have an international monetary notes that you can go to all these different places. Now, you think people gonna leave Africa and then go to an island where they don't know what's out there? It could be giants on the island, it could be motherfucking Bigfoot, man, it could be whatever. I'm just, you know, I'm just bugging out or whatever. No, but I'm saying it could be anything, man. It could be giant snakes, fucking dinosaurs. It could be anything on these motherfucking islands. So you gonna leave your home to get on a boat and travel and set up shop in a damn island in the middle of no motherfucking where tsunamis come, where fucking, you know, all types of, they probably get hurricane. Oh, huh?
it's not happening. It's not going down, man. You know what I'm saying? Who would really take a risk to live like that unless you may have been shipped out there or something like that. But we all know, man. I mean, come on, man. When you seeing something, you know, a culture this primitive, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it look like they don't need nobody help. You know what I'm saying? They sit up there showing you basically one of the elders, man, as a mummy. You know what I'm saying? And you know that had to be deep. That's showing them. That's when you see that right there. You know, supposedly. I mean, I think I not supposedly, but I'm pretty sure it is true. You know, if you bury one of your relatives in your backyard, you know that basically claims your land. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's the picture right here. You know what I'm saying? Showing that, you know, this is their land. He's showing you a whole body of an elder that was already here prior to you arriving there. You see what I'm saying? This is what our people is and are, the omnipresent representation of the Most High, man. That's why you're gonna see all the features of us, all the different type of phenotypes, and all the different styles of us everywhere you go. I done seen a couple of people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? I done seen a couple of people that look like AP. You know what I'm saying? But it's just letting you know what type of energy and what real family and what lineage we really are. At the end of the day, I mean, you talking about, man, so much synchronization. If we really got the real history and oral traditions and put them all together, ain't no telling what we'll come up with all across this terrain, man. I mean, my mind goes that far, but not to go that far. Just letting people know, you know what I'm saying? It's bigger than what your location is. You know what I'm saying? And people gotta travel more and see more to be able to really get the real vibe of this thing. Cause our people set the reality, man. You know what I'm saying? Us North Americans, us Americans, Aboriginals, we set the reality for people, man. We set the trends. You know what I'm saying? We setting everything right now. But this right here, to see other people, like you say, on basically deserted islands, still holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, sometimes I feel like a wimp compared to these people, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's
Them
real, man.
niggas handed it. They handed that motherfucker. They didn't get that nigga. They don't want to hear what he had to say. They like shoot first, ask questions last, man. They ain't want to hear nothing what he had to say and shit. I'm here to bring you back. Soon as he opened his mouth, or he couldn't even rob on the damn, couldn't get near the fucking island. I don't know how he got murdered, but it seems to me that as soon as he came there, they served his ass up. Now, like I said, man, why would these people be in the middle of Asia? Now, these is Negroes, man. This got dreadlocks in his head. Jag, look, you see, he got dreads in his head.
That's right.
He got dreadlocks in his
The
head.
rest of them got cuts.
So,
How you got cuts?
bro,
The
listen, man.
sideburns.
Like I said, the gig is up, man. Like, if you don't believe that it was already, so it was black people all on a little ass islands in Asia and other places. All these other places you can find people of melanated descent, and they want you to believe that all these people that's in the middle of surrounded by fucking oceans of water, they just left Africa and said, "Man, fuck this, we gotta go." They don't know where they're going, but they just gotta go. The fuck out of here, man. Them people was already out there. Them people ain't never left no damn Africa. They ain't never left no damn Africa.
Right. They probably been there for hundreds of thousands of years, if
They
not
probably ain't
millions.
never go nowhere. They probably ain't never. They been there as long as that place existed, man. They ain't never go nowhere. They ain't never come from nowhere. Go nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? They was
Right.
always there, man. Just like we was always here. Was black people here, and people don't want to fucking seem to understand it because what they did was they covered it up by putting all these people on one continent and by selling this. Oh, well, all black people came from Africa. That out of Africa theory. That out of Africa theory was made directly so people in America would make the assumption that they was from Africa. Bro, I'm telling America that bad to where they went through all that to make up an out of Africa theory and have you believe that you came from there so these people can be the Americans while you run around here and say, oh, you in love with Africa. And you let these other niggas, these other goofballs just come out of nowhere and tell you where you from. And you already know where you from. That's why here you're not going to hear. Okay, I'm not going to tell you about my family ancestry without saying it was black people here first. And no disrespect to anybody else though, but you have to make that point clear because people don't fucking understand. You put your information at you. Well, you left from Africa at some point in time or whatever. They still will sit there and debate with you. So that's why we show you the pyramids. That's why we show you these encyclopedias and mummifications and and comparing the pyramids to Egypt, to let you know, because these motherfuckers, these people who are Africans and these Egyptology, they stand on that Africa shit. And if they always talking about the first civilization was over there, once you show them that there's pyramids over here, so if you want to give credit to Mongoloids building these pyramids, you go ahead. We already know who built them. But if you want to give credit to them, that means that these people are more superior than the great Africans. You know how they all Africans are great. Okay, well, there's pyramids that was over here first. So who you want to give credit to? You want to give credit to more black people here? That's what's going to happen. Because they cannot change. I don't give a fuck what they say. They cannot change the dates on the pyramids pyramids in Giza, as well as the other pyramids in I can't think of the other part Egypt or whatever. But we know the pyramids of Sudan, pyramids in Egypt. They cannot change the dates on it. The dates are around the same time. And so let's say pyramids in Egypt is 50 years older than the pyramids here in Peru. What is that telling you? But what do they have in consistency? South America, that they claiming that they telling you that these mummies that's over there are wrapped with coca leaves. There's no cocaine in Egypt. So what would that tell you? That people had to be over here first. They had to see somebody over here do that shit first. They ain't just say, well, damn, you know what? Yo, we need to use leaves. We need to use these red leaves to wrap our bodies with. Won't you go there and go grab a plant that you don't know exists? You don't know where the plant is at. You never seen the plant before or whatever. We had to leave from here and go over there and do that. That's the only thing that makes sense.
That's right.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
That's right. And not only that, you got to look at, well, damn, the motherfucker who did it first, the motherfucker who built the largest pyramid, the people who built the most pyramids had to be the one that implemented this science first, and also give it as a gift or bring it across the globe. So what I'm saying is, I don't believe that Western Africans or even Africans, nor do I believe that the Kemetics or even Africans. I think that they all ancient Americans that migrated to that uninhabited land, and we did what we always did: build, create agriculture, and put our shit on the forefront.
Hey, go, food for thought for you though, right? What is the oldest pyramid in Egypt? Which one is the oldest pyramid in Egypt? What's the shape of it?
Oh, big step one, don't it?
The step pyramids. Okay. Where's they got more step pyramids at?
Exactly, man. Straight up here in America, all through America.
Ding, 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 ding. That's a
America.
bell going off in your head. You understand what I'm saying? That's a bell. If you can't put two and two together, and listen, okay. So we got hundreds, if not thousands, or tens of thousands of step pyramids here in America. Okay. The oldest pyramid in Egypt is a step pyramid, right? Okay. So what do that tell you? What else do have in common with the Americas? Oh, the coca leaves. Oh, this, that, this. Oh, some of the, like when we read out this encyclopedia, they're telling you that most of the stuff that they accredited for that you don't know because you don't study this shit. But guess what though? Like you had John Henry and you had Sheikh Opta Diak and Dr. Ben. Well, you got the Tonsilist one. You got Jaguar Omek, you got AP, you got Chief Holiday, you got Cormeo, you got us now. And we're going to prove to you otherwise. We're going to show you other information out. So you can go ahead and do your ancestry. Please do that too. That is very important. But first you have to understand what the people here look like. Because, I mean, if you don't understand that the people here was black or the people here could be classified as black, then you don't understand that. I don't want to hear nobody giving me a fucking a brief understanding and telling me, oh yeah, there was Indians here, whatever. But what the Indians look like? That do the Indians anything like me? Well, if they don't look like me, then I can't connect myself here. And this is the only reason why only problem I have with the brother Turtle. I love the brother. Brother do great work. And even the brother Raymond Watts, he do great work, bro. And it's no disrespect to these brothers. But tell us that it was Negroes here. Don't tell me that, oh, someone like, okay, so if they brought Africans here, where did the Negroes over here come from? Tell me, was it Negroes here and you believe Africans came here? What is it? Tell me, give us a defining so we can pretty understand this shit. Because from the way that a lot of people put it, they will give you the thought that Africans came here and mixed with these Indians. That's the reason why you see Negroes here. They still not telling you, oh no, it was black people here already. Don't tell me, oh, it was all types of people here. No, that's not working for me. That's not gonna work for me. Don't tell me that because your tribe or your motherfucking people within your tribe is all mixed up. You might have a white person over here, motherfucking. I ain't gonna say a mulatto, because mulatto is black, is still considered as black as well. But you got people of racial ambiguous to where we can really tell who's who. And you're not making that claim and telling nobody, well, look, man, it was already black people here, but some of the black people mixed with some of these Europeans. This the reason. This would give you an understanding why some of the people on these these powwows or these tribes are of lighter skin, and this is basically the brief understanding to what happened here. Don't give me no, oh man, yeah, there was the African American. Tell the African American that they indigenous to this land. Straight up. Straight up. Don't fucking sit here and dance around and say, oh, my people is from here or whatever, but no one else can connect themselves to here. And that's what I'm saying. You have to tell a whole group of people, like, whether or not you do your geology, you do your ancestry, if it was Africans born here, they done mixed into us. So by default, all fucking Aborigines here anyway. Just by default. You see how that works? Because like I told you, there was no particular all fucking Africans that did not mix with the Aborigines. If they came here, I cannot prove they came here because I know that they were shipping people from here to the Caribbean. Oh, guess what else I know? Oh, the Caribbean was already Negroes there. So how the fuck do you know the difference from the Negroes that was already there and these so-called Africans that look just like them that was brought there? How the fuck you know the difference? Are they specifying that these are fucking people from the continent, or are they calling them Negroes and just bringing them here and you believe they came here by ship, that they came across the water? No, they came by ship from the Caribbean to North America. The same way, if you want, just like same way people take fucking the Caribbean cruise and all that shit on the fucking boat, the same way they brought these people back here on the boat. But we don't understand that though. I'm going to specify this. I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and there was all these different color people here. All of these. No. It was melanated people here, copper color complexion people. See the remnants from them now that's been classified as so-called Africans. They don't call these people. Why they ain't calling the North Sentinelese people Africans? Why they ain't saying African North Sentinelese people? Why not? Why we the only people here that call Africans? The Jamaicans ain't even called African. The Haitians ain't called African. The people in Bermuda, Bahama, Cuba, they only telling you that they got African in them, and they believe, and most of them are pretty much saying, no, we don't. We was already here. So like I said, y'all want to build on that?
Man, you already know, bro. I don't be trying to repeat what you say and stuff, but how much more really is it gonna take, man? Like, I'm not gonna say that as if I done had enough research or I know enough, because I can never know enough. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to be able to build on, on this type of information and not, you know, just lose my composure and things like that, man, because this is some serious stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We just went through two articles that saying basically the same thing from two different major post companies, and they're giving it to you that like I mean, when you really look at history yourself, what we've been doing, what A1 been doing for probably almost damn near 200 shows now, man. Looking at the history, examining what's being said, what's going on, man. It's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother reality, man. We've been living in a doggone movie through our educational systems, man.
Not only that, just to piggyback off you, brother Jag, we living in a fictional movie. We living in a movie that if it was a book, it'd be next to the Harry Potter section. You know, the whole out of Africa theory, the whole roots conception. And we gotta understand, man, it's up to us to stop living this post-traumatic slave syndrome, even though we dealing with abuse that our ancestors went through gentrification, genocide, reclassification. You know, that's something that we gonna have to deal with, and it's been passed on. It's something I call transgenerational trauma, and that's what we dealing with now. But it's up to us to get our souls right, our mind, spirit, and vibrations right. Because the future, our kids, the future is dependent on us to be able to bring this information, like the brother A1 and the Jaguar is doing. We bringing back history that people have never really wanted to talk about. We making it easier to digest. We making it easier for you to go implement this same information to somebody else in your community or a family member that's interested. Or if they ain't interested at all, you'll be able to implement it in a way where they gonna be intrigued or be like, damn, that's deep. I need to know more about this. Because it's true. Only the truth resonates and burn in your heart and what drives you to the truth. The truth can. So we gotta understand as indigenous people, that's our number one goal is to realize who we are, reconstruct this history and unify. And it ain't gonna we don't need everybody, and I'm not waiting on everybody. We want the people that's ready to go now, ready to tie their boots up, roll their sleeves up, and let's put in this work. Simple as that, man.
That's right.
Right, man. And like I say, man, I mean, it's 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 not even it's not even just us, man. You know what I'm saying? We just really trying to get it going forward with actually applying what need to be done here, man. And I mean, you know, it don't have to be something that's got to take years, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, uh, shout out to a new breed, man. But you know, even if you don't fill out the census and stuff like that, man, you need to let these people know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll classify you as black or African American. Because I think it's gonna be African American on the census. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to speak up for yourself at least. Show an affidavit or something if you're not gonna uh fill it out or whatever. You gotta at least prove and speak up. At least do that with your family, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we gotta make this like a real trend because this is what it's really about. This is what real wealth and real establishing self is. You know what I'm saying? Establishing a foundation that can really grow and something you can leave behind and carry on with your families. Now, how you do it and when you do it ain't gotta be nobody's business, especially on no live air. But connect with us. We can link up. You know, reach out to Unconscious One. You know, I'm not all the way savvied up like that myself because I just planned on getting with the information. You know, reach out to AP or however we gotta do it, man. You know, Corey Mayo. You know what I'm saying? We got James Flame. Shout out to him in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out there, man. Killer white supremacy, man. We out here, man. We out here really just I mean, we stand solid, man. It's not hard when you really done been through some things. You know what it's about, man. So it's real, man.
Shout out to James, man. I'm gonna try to get James to come through a couple of bills on the history, man. Brother is very enlightening. Every time I hear him, I be quiet, I mute my mic and I just listen, man. And that's what I like to do, man. I like to listen, man. I like to hear different perspectives, especially stories coming from the Americas that's not being told, man. It's brothers out here who do wonderful research. Same thing when I bring Cormeo, I bring the medicine man through or whatever. I just mute my mic and let these brothers talk, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of us understand this, man. A lot of us, right? You got people out there telling you, "Oh, well, trace your history back. Oh, you can't be an Indian unless you can connect yourself to being Indian." But guess what we're doing? We proving that you classified us as fucking Africans, and most of us cannot go back because of the damage that was done to us. If it wasn't done to us through what you did to us through the 1800s when you reclassifying people as colored and Negro. Now, this is documented. This is documented. So you got people telling you, oh, well, if you can't find out that you're an Indian, you're not an Indian then. Fuck up, man. Stop telling people that. Because a lot of us can't find out who we are. But if you put the narrative out there and let them know that it was already people who look like them here, then they would sit there and they will probably be able to tap back into their ancestors. But when you get these, oh, well, there was people here all different, but guess what? African Americans come in all different colors too. We don't all look the same. I met a brother the other day from Mississippi. He be working out and shit, man. And he real dark. And he from Mississippi. And you know what I'm saying? And he's an Aborigine. So we all in different parts in here. We all had different. Some of us probably was light brown, you know, and then through the mixing through some of our ancestors, Europeans, some of us might be a little light. But at the end of the day, we know who the fuck we are. And all you have to do is pretty much prove the narrative and change the story that it was already black people here. So stop telling us that the only reason why you have these dark Indians because of Africans mixed with them. Stop making the story so hard for people to relate to. Because when you sit up there and you tell people, oh, well, you know, you try to prove that you the only Indian and ain't nobody else the Indian, and it don't fit. It's not good for 60 million people. It's not good for the rest of the people because the rest of the people sitting there like, well, I'm an African. You're leaving too much room for people to connect themselves to Africa. Either we gonna be Americans and go all the way in on it and touch on the pyramids and touch on all of the history that was taken from us, that was never taught to us, all of the glorification that they had you glorify over there. Or oh shit, and Egyptians doing this. Egyptian, nah, kind of find out we was doing it. All the stuff that they give a credit to over there, we was doing the shit over here first. So like I said, we already clearance on this, man. You know, I ain't gonna stop until I see this is a curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Q Butter, you need to get this as one of your curriculums. Stop teaching them that African shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching that it's no shot, no disrespect to none of the brothers, sisters that come from the continent. No disrespect to them, but we got our own continent to claim. Stop trying to pull us in with y'all or whatever. If you want to come together, say, oh, well, us Africans, us Americans, because you know what happens? When Africans come here, they try to shit on you because they try to tell you that their culture is so superior. And by telling them that you come from there and they know you don't come from there, that's the reason why people be playing this. They play on you because we give Africa credit for everything, man. Oh, Africa was the first to do this. Oh, Africa was the first to do that. No, we find out Americas was the first to do it. So why does it matter? Because the same way why it matters if Africa was the first one to do it. Why it matters. The same way you sit up here and tell us these stories and have people sitting up here and, oh man, the African spiritual system was the best. No, we had spiritual system over here. You see how it works? And that's what I'm dealing with. I'm not dealing with no. I ain't trying to be hating nobody. I ain't trying to be up here telling nobody. But let's identify with our ancestors, man. Stop pushing us over there or saying we come from over there or our people. No, 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 no. That's not right and exact. Now we just broke down a big major part of what people tell you about the slave story, which is Goree. Now you can believe that or you don't want to believe, but understand this, right? Understand like this, right? When you dealing with information, you only got information to where you can sit there and only go with the narrative of what we being told without opposition. Now you got opposition. So go do your research from there. You got just put up 2 articles of people telling you there's more information out on this on the same topic or whatever. Now what you need to do is go research this stuff. And you tell me what makes sense with everything else that we've been putting together, with the fact that it was already Negroes in the West Indies, Barbados, Bermuda, Jamaica, Haiti, Brazil, all of these so-called places where they telling you they brought all these tens of millions. I mean, well, I'm gonna say millions of so-called people from Africa to these places or whatever. It was already black people there. So what's the probability of you bringing more people from one continent than the people who was already there? Now, what's the other probability that you just lying about the whole story because we told that it ain't no supposed in North America, so everywhere we find that it was a Negro at before or at the same time, you're covering up by telling us that they're Africans, and then you even covering up more by putting the word slave and African together and making people think, well, they're slave people. They telling you they enslaved 6 million people here. That's a lot of fucking people. Where these people at? Where these people at? Where are they at? And that's what I'm saying. The more I dig, the more, just like I just told you, the Nash chat in the Mississippi, Louisiana area, if you research them, you'll see that they was already practicing voodoo. And the Chippewa tribe was already practicing voodoo. Now, what do they have in common? The Chippewa was found in Illinois, up in that area. What they tell you, who founded Chicago? They tell you a Haitian founded Chicago. No, it was just a French speaking Aborigine that founded Chicago. Okay, that's all it was. An Aborigine who spoke French. So, like I said, man, you gotta do the research and understand it, man. I got documentation telling that the French sent the Nash chat from here to the Caribbean. I got documentary telling you that. I got documentation showing that people that was already in Louisiana was already practicing voodoo. No one, no damn African. You know how far it is for people to come. You know how far it is. Check this out. Let me go back this way. Let me show y'all something. So look, here go France right here, right? So the French came across right here. The French came across right here. Boom. Now look, think of it. Look. Let's deal with this shit right here, right? It's flat. No, hold up. Let me get up out of here.
That's why, as you go on, keep looking, man. That's why, we're gonna keep diving into this American Indian encyclopedia and keep going through here, showing you the empirical data, not only what our ancestors had contribution to, but what they literally invented. You know what I'm saying? Was the first to do things. So we're gonna keep getting into that as well.
All right, y'all. Look. Look at this, AP. You see where France at, or Frank, or whatever you want to call it? You see where France at right here? So you want me to believe that these people came all the way down here? They came all the way down here, right? So you see where France is at? Look where France is at. So you want me to believe that France came all the way down here, all the way right here? This right here, this alone right here is like a 5-month journey to come all the way down here to West Africa from where they at in France. Okay, this is already like a 3 to 5 month journey right here. Look, they right here, France. So they came past all this, came here, still had enough after being on the water all that time, or coming across, rocking the coast. They was able to snatch people up, then still have enough supplies to take it across here and come all the way. Now look, remember, the French was up here. The French was further into North America. The French wasn't just like in these. The French was all the way in Louisiana. So wouldn't it make more sense that the French came this way, that the French came through here, came through the back way right here, Canada and all this, because what they speak in Canada? French. So wouldn't it make more sense that the French came through here, down the Great Lakes right here, and this when they came down Louisiana right here? They never brought no slaves with them. They came here and started befriending people, and they talking that other tribes are selling people prisoners of war or whatever, and they starting colonies up here. Okay, this is what I think will happen. This is the only thing that makes sense, because it doesn't make sense for no one to travel all the way down here, come set up a colony down here, then shoot all the way across the motherfucking Atlantic Ocean, and then, because remember, like I said, go to Louisiana. Louisiana's all the way up in here. Look where look where Louisiana at. Look how far you Louisiana. So you gotta come past all this shit. You gotta come past all this, come through these islands back here. I don't think the French came this way. The French came from up top. The French came from up top, and it wouldn't make sense for them to go all the way to Africa. It wouldn't damn sure make sense for them to come down here and go down here and grab people, then come all the way up, then go through the cross. It didn't make no fucking sense. It would only make sense that they came here alone with a few men or probably a few vessels, and they was able to travel down the Great Lake, because there's an opening right here. You can see this opening right here, and this opening will take you out to the Mississippi River as well, and take you all the way down to the coast. This would be the only thing that would make sense to me. You cannot tell me that these people came from here and came all the way down here and start grabbing people and then shot across. There, you out of your fucking mind. And this is what people believe. And they got us believing this shit. Where England at? England is, let me see something. England is in here somewhere. If I close now, I probably can see it a little bit better though. But England is right up in here somewhere. Okay? Same thing with England. You think the English was warring with Spain? You think they came past here and rolled past these people country, knowing that was warring with them? They rolled past these people country, was able to still come across, grab people from here, then shoot across. Get the fuck out of here, man. On a vessel, a wooden boat? Are you serious? Come on, man. So like I said, use your brain. Don't let these people fucking tell you. That's like, and even when we was just reading what's the name, they telling you people was dying from scurvy, people was dying from all types of diseases. So these people, so none of these diseases that these people may have died from contracted to the other people that was on the boat. So these people was able to just, as soon as they got off the boat, just start hit the ground. Oh, you work here, you work. Get the fuck out of here, man. You people believe this dumb shit? They came in and enslaved you in your own land, and there's too many documents. There's too many documents that's proving it, along with the fact that they get so blatantly hid this shit from us. They get hid it from us because somebody gonna start saying to yourself, well, hold up. if you enslave 6 million so-called Indians, why don't see no Indians walking around that don't know who they are? And it couldn't have been. And if it was more Indians than Africans that was born here, then common sense would tell you that the majority, I mean, that all of us are fucking Indians. Ain't no none of it. Ain't no. Some of us, it ain't a little bit. The majority of us that been here since the seventh. Well, I'm gonna say that always been here since these Europeans came here. If they did bring Africans, them Africans then mixed into us by now, which me myself, I don't believe it, because I believe that we getting the word Negro confused with the word African. When they show you the word African, you believe in that. I mean, when you show you the word African, they automatically killing you. Oh, well, you know the Africans are the Negroes. No, they were calling you here Negroes. So what do you mean? And the archaeologist James Chapman said that the first Americans resemble Africans, Australians, and South Pacific Islanders. South Pacific Islanders look just like these motherfuckers right here. They look just like them. So come on, man. Like I said, yo, stop. Like I said, people, man, stop falling for the bullshit. Don't let none of these other Aborigines tell you that they brought Africans here without really researching it and coming to an understanding. If they brought 380,000 people here, they're telling you they enslaved 6 million people here. Okay, where did they? Let's say if they did send 3 million out to the Caribbean, that still would leave you with like 3 million that was here. So you outnumber them by 10 times. And on the same plantation that they claim they brought these Africans to.
That's right.
You see how that works? On the same plantations where you claim these Africans to, there's no sign of no Indian slaves. There's no sign of Indian slaves. But every article I find, they did it in Massachusetts and sent some of the Pequots out to Bermuda and Barbados and in the Caribbean. But nobody knows these people. These people just disappeared. Even though today, right now, the motherfucking Pequots are fucking Negroes. But these people just disappeared. No one know. There's no sign of the Pequots that was sold in Barbados. But then we got pennies with Barbados on it. The penny head got a motherfucking nigga with nappy head with a fucking feather crown on his head. So he's an African too, right? So and if they looked at like this, then you tell the difference from any Africans that was born here. This is what the fuck I'm trying to tell people, man. If it was already Negroes there in the West Indies, how do you know? Why would they make this journey? If Columbus said that they could come here and enslave the people here? Oh, because they told you that lie that they killed everybody. That's what made it more. Oh, the Indians could not be, but Columbus just said they could be enslaved. And if they could not be enslaved, how the fuck was they enslaving us here? This is what they tell you. Oh, the Indians could not be slaves, so the Indians could not bear the yoke. So therefore, they had to go get Africans. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like I said, yo, if you guys believe this shit, yo, I gotta start getting away from some of y'all, yo. And a lot of these Aborigines talking, oh, well, there was Africans. Well, prove it to me. Prove it to me. I'm gonna show you my numbers. I mean, people I thought that I can prove that was here. You prove to me that these 380 Africans, that it's whole African communities in 2018. You prove that to me. You understand what I'm saying, people in the chat room? You understand what I'm saying? 380,000 that they giving you the number. They telling you that they enslaved up to 6 million people here. They ship out 3 million. 3 million people is a lot of people to be shipping to the Caribbean. Okay? It's a lot of motherfucking people, okay? But yet you and that you shipping, you got these same Aborigines that you enslaved here in the in Charleston, in South Carolinas, in Georgia, in Virginia, in the Florida Keys, in Louisiana. So where do these people go?
And they gonna
they mixed in.
They gonna keep telling us that we African because they don't want to pay us and they don't want to give up this land. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's up for us to come into our true identity, man. We gotta stop sleeping. Wake the fuck up, yo.
And that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, man, I'm about to get ready to close this down, though. But come on, y'all, you gotta wake up, man. You can't let these people tell you a bunch of fucking lies, man. You know what I'm saying? And it, matter of fact, and look, this where Kenya at. Kenya is all the way. Kenya is East Africa. I didn't know Kenya was East Africa. This ain't even West Africa right here. The Kenya, what? No, hold up. Where they telling you they allowed us to come back to Guyana or Kenya?
Gan,
Yeah,
Ghana.
Ghana.
Ghana, with Ghana, my bad. I don't know. I always say Guyana to Ghana, right? They saying that we came that they letting and that right there a smoke screen. You go back to Ghana when you want. When them people have a fucking racial uplifting, you're gonna be the first person on the fucking plate. All right, you're gonna be the first person. They telling you could come back. We ain't never come from there. We never came from there. We never came from there because this would be the reason right here where Goree Island is at. Goree Island is in Guyana. Ghana. Ain't Ghana used to be Gambia, right? Let's see.
I think it is close to it or something like that. I think that is the same spot, man. You know what I'm saying? And they really don't want the smoke at all, man, as far as that, because they would literally have to give us some type of financial grievances for ending their careers. I mean, because honestly, man, I mean, we got even history showing how a lot of the African tribes and nations, man, are not even from Africa, man. Not even from that land. Most of them are all from Europe and the Mesopotamia area in Asia.
Let's see, so hold up.
You ain't gonna find real old history in Africa, period, because it was a desert land. It was an uninhabited land. It was a scarce land. There wasn't nothing there. It hadn't even really been broke in by soil and cultivation yet.
So this is it right here. It's right here on the tip, like he said. So they bought through. So they try to say that everybody that they bought through, all the slaves that they bought through was here. But see, what you have to do is this, right? All you got to do is find out what colony, what European colony ran fucking Goree Island. They said the French, right? They said the French and I believe the French and the Portuguese, right? So, like I said, think of it like this. Think of it like this, y'all. And you got to use your brain at this point in time. All you gotta do, and we ain't even do that research up to that to see exactly what I believe it was French because they had say you have French on the on the right on the walls or whatever, right? If the French control Goree Island, then what the fuck did that have to do with the English? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. The French and the English did not have the same. And this is why you have to really break this history up, because you will have people telling you that because you come from Spanish Caribbean, that you the same. Like I said, and like I said, and even a lot of our French brothers that was took in the ID came from here. And I could prove this shit easily. I could easily prove this shit. But at the Spanish, the French, and the Portugal and the English all was friends and all was in cahoots with each other. You cannot say that. So what colony controlled Goree Island? Like I said, that's the next thing. That's the next. So I'm gonna do some research on that tomorrow or whatever though. But like I said, when we find out that if it's not the English that controlled Goree Island, because they saying that it was from 1778. That's when they built the shit in 1778. So if the French and them was occupying that shit in 1778, something is wrong, yo. Something is wrong, man. Something is you understand what I'm saying, yo? Y'all with me?
Word, man. I know exactly what you're saying. Like you say, I mean, just when you broke it down, somebody just broke it down in the chat just now. I didn't even catch the name because I was just reading it. But if you saying that they called them Negro, where the hell is the English at? Because the English wouldn't just be
Well,
calling them Negro unless they heard a
that's
Spanish or somebody else call them that, man. That's just what it is, man.
already. That's number one. And like I said, now if we find out what person, and this is gonna be the grand opening, grand closing on these niggas right here. If I find out that the French is the people who ran Goree Island, and you tell me, because this nigga already lied. The nigga who wrote that article already lied. 20 million people came. Hold up. 20 million people came through what? Who was controlling this shit? Did the English control Goree Island? Man, I need to see, man. Before we get off, hold up, man. Hold the fuck up, man. Before we get off, man. Let me see. What? Let me see something. Just give me a second, y'all.
The gig is up, man. It's really been up, man. Our people is just now, man. We just now able to really connect these dots, man. Like I say, man. A1, you caught me up a lot on what I needed to know. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dame, Corey Mayo,
Absolutely.
caught me up. Even AP, you know what I'm saying? Chief, you know what I'm saying? Chief Holiday, man. I'm talking about. And then, like you say, it's so many people now, man. We got everybody on the serious bill now. We got people in UK, people in, man. Come on, man. It's the gig is over with.
Yeah, man. For everybody
Oh
in the
no, we
chat,
got these niggas, yo.
for everybody in the
Look.
chat, let me get a hashtag. The gig is up. Let me get one of them.
Oh no, we got these niggas, my dude. Look, check this shit out. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Hold up. Hold up. It's up. Hold up. Let's hold up. Before we get off, hold up. Let me read this real quick. All right. This is from an article called. Let me see something real quick. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me see if I can pull this shit up. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Give me a second, y'all. Just give me 1 second. Let me open another page up. We ain't done yet, y'all. We ain't done yet. It's gonna be an extended jam. We got to get to the bottom of this shit, man. Sleep tonight, bro. Let me see something. We're gonna get to the bottom of this shit. To the bottom of this shit, y'all. There you go, right here. We're gonna get to the bottom of this shit, y'all, tonight. I ain't touch, man. Tell you whatever they want to tell you and referring this shit back to your kids. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we're gonna stop this bullshit. And even this guy said, he said this is Garvey. He said a people without knowledge of their past history, origins, or culture is like a tree without roots. Thank you for trying to send us back to Africa, you fucking agent. Okay, here we go. Look. So we got Goree Island, Memory Island. It said the island of Goree is an exceptional testimony of one of the greatest tragedy in history of human society. Slave trade is a various element of this Memory Island. Fortress, building, street, squares, etc. recount each in its own way. Goree, which from 1500s to the 9. Now they get said that this shit was only from 17 from 1775 to 1778, right? It said the history of Goree Island from 1500 to 19th century was one of the largest slave trading. Now it said was one of the largest slave trading centers of the African coast. Now listen, Goree Island is a small 45-acre island located off the coast of Senegal, opposite of Dakar. It is a small island, approximately 600 meters times 250 meters. Goree was at a center of the rival between European nations for control of the slave trade. It's a rule in succession by the Portuguese, Dutch, the English, and the French. It was a slaving warehouse. It's a house of slaves. All right, now I say the door of no return. Now it's saying, now check this out. It say Goree. I want to read this. I'm trying to find where the okay. All right, now check this out. It said the British took over in 1664. It say the island of Goree was one of the first places in Africa to settle, was settled by Europeans and Portuguese. Settled on an island in 1444. They go to 3 4s again, I always see. Before Jay-Z started coming out with this shit. It say the first recorded slave trading, it said their dates back to 1536 was conducted by the Portuguese. And say the island was captured by the United Netherlands in 1518. Then the Portuguese again, and then again Dutch. It say the Dutch named it the island of Goree. It say before the British took it over in 1664. It say after the French gained control in 1667, and the island remained controlled continuously French until 1960. Now check this out. Listen. Now here in North America, the predominant people were supposed to be brought here by the British, right? Can I get an A on that?
That's an A.
That's definitely an
That's
A.
the A, right? That's definitely A, right? So it said the British took it over in 1664 after the French gained control. So the British only had Goree Island in for a matter of 13 fucking years, and then the French took it over, and they say the island remained continuously French until 1960. Bam! Bam, 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 bam. There you go, right there. Got them right there. Got them right. We don't speak French in North America. And the French and the English was not trading together. The French and the English were not trading together because the French and English were trading together when the expedition of Lewis and Clark, they try to tell you that the English bought Louisiana from the French. No, the English took it, just like the Duke of York took New York from the fucking Dutch. The English, they gonna lie to you. They gonna keep lying to us, talking about somebody paid for it. No, ain't nobody. Why would they sell something that they wanted? Why would they sell something a place that they've been there? Why would they sell it? Why would they sell it? They didn't sell shit because they didn't own nothing. First of all, they came and the British is coming, and they knew that they didn't get along with the British, so either they left or the British punked them and said, yo, y'all better be going. By the time we come through here, y'all better be fucking going. Okay, now look. So it says the House of Slaves was built in 1770. It was built in 1776. Why are you saying that it was a slave post since the 1500s? Why? Because they making this shit up as they go, yo. Because look, the House of Slaves was built in 1776, built by the Dutch. Okay, so my God, like they can't even get this shit together. It says the last slave house still standing in Goree and now serves as a museum. Mid-1900s, it was estimated that about 20 million Africans passed through the island between the mid-1500s and 1800s. African slave trade. Hold up, but they changed that shit though. Hold up, they changed. I seen it where they changed it at. It's right here. Here it say, however, check this out. It say, however, since the mid-1900s, following a controversial article written by 1996 in Le Monde, there has been heated academic debates around Goree. And the debates have largely been on the revisionist site, with most historians today arguing the scale of the slave trade in Goree was much like a lower than in many other parts of Western Africa. Estimates only 33,000 captures are now being given. You see how these niggas been lying through the whole shit? Man, listen, I'm done, man. I'm done, y'all. Look, listen. They said that the French ran it from 1627. They say the French remained continuously French until 1960. Okay, so from 1670 to 1960. When was the English bringing slaves through there? You tell me. So how African Americans think of this? Think of this how they fucking us, right? Here in North America, okay, unless you want to say Haitians is African Americans or whatever, because then will be the only people who was basically here that was colonized by the French. And there's a couple of other islands out there that the French had too, but mainly we know Haiti, Marti, whatever. It's a couple of different islands out there, but we talk about here in North America. You got people from North America going out there, fucking kissing the ground, hugging the ground, saying, "Oh, I'm glad." No, the English didn't have control. The English only had control of for 13 fucking years. So that was before the United States was even formed. That was a whole 100 years. Or the United States formed. The United States was formed in 1776. So if the French had control of it since 1670, when did the English ever bring any fucking black Americans? We talk about North America. We ain't talking about nowhere else, the Caribbean. We ain't talking about the Spanish region, the French region, or none of the other stuff. We talking about strictly here. They claim that all these so-called black people from here went over there and they was mesmerized by going over there. When did the English have control of? The French was not bringing slaves here for the fucking English, okay? So like I said, man, you got to use your brain when it comes to this shit, man, because they be lying. And then they're going to tell you only 33,000 people came through there, but yet they telling you that that was slave port from, it says, let me see something. Where was it? Where is it at? Right here. It says the history from which 1500s to the 19th century was the largest trading century, of African coast. Okay. Now it's not specifying from the 15 to the 1900s, but it's making you think that. All right. When you read it, it's making you think it. Now listen, check this out. Now, even right here, if you didn't go down, see, this is what Garfield and them would do. It say before the mid-19th, it was estimated that 20 million Africans passed through the island between the mid-1500s and the mid-800s. And I'm like, well, hold up. In North America, we speak English. So if the English didn't have control of it, then I'm not buying that. Because we're told that the English supposedly have bought the most. So like I said, man, there destroys the fact that the English didn't even control it. In North America here, we speak English, y'all. We speak English. The English is the people who came here, or the Germanic tribes, or whatever you want to call them. We know that the Dutch came here too. Yes, Dutch came here, but Dutch was kicked out of here when the English came.
Right.
When the English started coming in, go ahead, AP, go ahead, you go.
Oh no, I was just like, you right. We speak English in America, and that's why the people in South America speak Spanish. That's who they was colonized by. And if you make your way in certain parts of the South, they do speak some French, but it's like certain parts that was like inhabited and colonized
Louisiana.
by the French. Louisiana, some of Mississippi, double back
That's
around to
right.
Detroit. Detroit is a French name. So you can see the migration from the French making their way from the north, working their way down, getting trapped because of the Spanish and the English moving in. They doubled back, took some slaves, ended up in the goddamn Haiti. That's how it went down.
And what did I tell you? Look. What did I tell you, AP? Look. France right here. You think the French came all the way down here and went all the way to Africa and shot across? Come on, man. Are you out of the fucking mind? They shot right through here and came through the back way right here through the Cube. Quebec and fucking Canada and Ottawa and all this area right here. This is where they came through. Because Detroit back here. Detroit is up here by Chicago. You understand what I'm saying? Detroit is up at Detroit right here. Detroit is in this area right here. In Illinois area. That's like you said, Detroit. So they came all the way through here and worked all the way up and came through it. Come on, stop lying. They came through this way and came straight down through here. Boom, 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 and cut through here. And then they came through Chicago, Illinois, Missouri, all the way down here, Louisiana. Just like you said, people speak French in Detroit and in Chicago and all that. So Louisiana, Mississippi, all this shit right here. All of it right here. The Mississippi River runs straight from here. Okay? And it tells you that it's 5 different lakes conjoining right here. Like I said, there's a lot, man. Like I said, I mean, but just know that we just smashed that whole fantasy, man. Just know that. And then if anybody try to bring that to your attention, you're like, hold up, well, what European nation control Goree Island? The French, right? Okay, well, we speak English here. So the English didn't have control of it. The French was not bringing the slaves over to the English, my boy. They was not, and the French and the English was not friends like that. So like I said, man, to everybody in that room, man, thank you for coming through. Got 165 people in here. Please hit that like button on the way out so this could be a trending video. And like I said, Culture Freedom, Hitting Cultures of America, Black Indians, trying to get this out, trying to get this on Amazon, Netflix, these major platforms. Please be the one to help the brother get this out. You know, donations can be sent to my PayPal account as well as my Cash App, as well as going over. If you like to cop a t-shirt, Aboriginal t-shirt from the brother, I got more than 80 different styles. Free to do it. If you like to donate, please donate. You know what I'm saying? It would definitely be, I would definitely be very, I would definitely take that as, you know what I'm saying, I would really appreciate that. Like I said, what I'm going to do is I got all the names of the people who donated in my PayPal account. These people going to be added to the credits. When I add the credits and people, special thanks to people who donated and people who helped out. And like I said, just the page and everybody else, I would definitely help. So it ain't about sending no damn money or trying to, oh, you got to do that. Nah, if you don't have it, just take care of your family and just keep subscribing. Okay. And like I said, if you can send me perhaps a story from you or your family. And like I said, everybody who sent me emails, I know one of my brothers sent me an email. Let me see something real quick. I don't say your name, but I got to get in touch with Copper Hot Step. TT, you know who you is, TT. Terrell, I don't want to say your whole name. SM. It's a couple of people. I got all your emails saved right here. And what I do is I'm probably gonna be reaching out to everybody like on one day. I've been real busy, y'all. And like, you know, it's only 24 hours a day between making these videos and daughter got homework and you know, just trying to do things with the family, man. It's kind of tough really to be really reaching out, you know what I'm saying, all the time though. But I'm definitely gonna get in contact with y'all just to let y'all know that I haven't forgotten y'all, as well as everybody who do send donations. I really appreciate everyone. So like I said, man, just keep on doing what y'all doing, keep coming through. We're gonna keep proving it to you. No, here I'm not going to just tell you that, oh, they brought Africans here and all that, because I can't even prove. I can't find no Africans. I can't find them. If you see 6 million people here, you sent out people to the West Indies. Where's these people you brought in from Africa to the West Indies at? Plus, it was already black people in the West Indies. So that would mean that plus the population of people who was in the West Indies, plus the population of the Indians that you took North America to the West Indies, plus the Africans that you took to the West Indies. You want me to believe this shit? I can't believe it. Like I said, all they did was just revolt. It's like they just told you but this nigga went from, look, real quick recap on this video alone right here, y'all. Because I do see some more people just came through, right? Look. They tell you that, look, it say before the mid 1900s, it was estimated that a million Africans passed through the island between the mid 1500s and the 1800s. All right. Now listen, remember, by the 1700s, 1800s, we talking about the English, right? But guess what? The French controlled this shit from 1667 until the 1960s. So we don't speak French in North America like the AP said, except in some places where the French came. But don't think that the French brought slaves there. They just taught the indigenous people here how to speak French. Okay, so when did the English have control of that? And these 33,000 people that they claim came through there, where did they really go? Where did they really go? It says, let me read this. It say the rebellious African was locked up in an oppressive small cubicle under the stairs. It say while seawater was sipped through the steps. No, I'm sorry. No, this shit is. It say was sipped through the holes to step up dehydration. Do you know what seawater would do to you if you drink fucking seawater? You lying motherfuckers. Do you know if they talk about the slaves was drinking seawater, y'all? Do you know what seawater would do to you?
Kill you in about 24 hours, dehydrate your whole damn body. It'll pretty much it'll fuck you up.
It says to step up dehydration. Yo, these motherfuckers, man, they fucking sold. That's the biggest lie ever being told, y'all. Now look, real quick. Let's cross-reference real quick before we get out of here. Real quick, y'all. Now this is the article I read. Right now, brother Jag read an article that clearly states the same thing. Now in this article right here, you got a European that's basically telling you that this shit is. He's saying it's a hoax, man. He disrespecting this nigga by saying it's a hoax because it is a hoax. If the evidence don't match up, I'm telling you, because somebody else is not as dumb as everybody else. Somebody else is saying, well, hold up. North America, the English controlled that. So if the French had control of Goree Island and the French and the English was not working together, English bring any slave to Goree Island. And why would here in North America right here, they only consider us to be African Americans, even though they try to tell you that diaspora bullshit over. Oh, the diaspora export. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't no diaspora. That's some bullshit. They done made that shit up too. Okay? They made that shit up too. This lying motherfucker right here, Joseph Nadai, right? He didn't contrive it. It's a fact of fiction. Just for the people who just came in. Just want to read this real quick, right? It say standing on an elegant carved stairway of Senegal framed slave house, Joseph Nadai hold a pair of black iron shackles. It say and recite the horrors of the Atlantic trade. It say more than 20 million Africans left through the house is door of no return. Okay, now listen, they just told you that it was only 33,000 people who might have came through here. So how the 20 million is a bold number. 20 to 33 million? Are you serious? That's not even fucking. That's less than like. You figure 20,000 will be 1% of 20 million. I'm assuming it's somewhere in there because 10% of 20 million will be what? 2 million, right? 10% of 20 million will be 2 million. Right? So what? 1% of 20 million will be 20,000. Now I might be listen, my math, don't quote me on that, but I'm assuming that's what it would be. I'm assuming because what 1% of 20,000 will be what 2,000. No, would it be 2,000? No, it would be like 200. Yeah, it would be like $200 or something like that. If we look at it like that. Like I said, I'm not the best math. I'm not the best at math, or you know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is 20 million, and it goes from 20 million to 33,000 people. Who would come up with a fucking a number like 20 million and then they change it to 33,000? Who would come up with such a large number and then they change it to 33,000? Oh no, psych, yo, we got our numbers fucked up. What calculating to come up with 20 million people?
You gotta be a psychopath or something, man.
bro, bro. Yo, this shit make me mad just reading this shit, y'all. 20 million and they bring it down to 33,000 people? Are you serious? Like, come on, man. Like, what gave you the idea to even say 20 million? The gig is up, y'all. The gig is up. And like I said, the French control Goree Island, y'all. Don't let them tell you that the French, the Portuguese, and the Spain was all in cahoots with each other, because that's the biggest lie ever told. That's not true at all. Them people was not. The English came here on their own. They didn't come here with nothing. They didn't come here with no Portuguese. They ain't come here with no Spanish. Because if they did, then why the fuck did the English take the colonies in the Caribbean from the Spanish if they was all friends and buddy? So like I said, man, the gig is up, yo. The gig is up. The gig is up, man.
Man, because either way, you know, it's either way. At the end of the damn day, man, if you going to Africa, man, you better have some family for real, man. That's all. Because I know some people in Africa, you know what I'm saying, and they good people, man. And we ain't got nothing against Africans, but if you going over somebody you can really link up with, or can give you some pointers or some heads up, or give you some culture to latch on to or something. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Or you better have some money and some security or something, or be around the police there. I don't, you know. Hey.
So would it be fair to say this, Jack? Says, all right, because look, check this out. 20 million is more than the number that they got on slavevoid.org. The number that they got on slavevoid.org is 12 million people, right? Listen to me, people. Listen to this, right? The number that they got on slavevoid.org is 12 million people, okay? Now, he's saying that 8 million people jumped ship. 8 million people from 20 million to that's more like 30% of people who jumped ship. It's more than 30%. It's more like 40%. 80% of 8 million from 20 is like 40%. If it's 12 million left, I would assume that 12 million would be 60%, or around that. All you have to do 0.6 times 12 million. It's not that hard to really do the math, but think about it. So they went from 20 million to 12 million, right? So now they saying that the 20 million never left there, only 33 million left there. So how many people do they actually got coming over here? Because they coming to the conclusion that all of the slaves passed through there. If they gonna say 20 million, there's only 12 million people came here. Wouldn't you assume that all the slaves came through here?
But then they got it recorded over there, only 33,000 people. That's under the number that reached so-called North America, man. Which
they
was
not even
380,000 or something like that. That was, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, but they not even saying that they left though. They still is confused about whether or not these people was. When you read the other guy, he's saying that you can't. These people might have just been servants or people who was just working there.
That's right.
You can't even. But so all right. So what we being told? So they telling you 20 million people came there. So you would automatically make the assumption that, well, hold up, 20 million people came there, and 20 million people came there, right? So 20 million people came there. 12 million made it over here to Caribbean, where they only shipped out 380,000 here to North America. Okay? Stop lying. Yo, the gig is up, y'all. The gig is up. If you want to believe, if they went from somebody is total a giant whopper, yo. That's a major exaggeration, y'all. That's a major exaggeration. You know what you gotta be on to be exaggerating like that, yo? You know how motherfucker tell you, like, yo, man, like a nigga tell you a lie, like, yo, man, I got 100,000. And this nigga got $2,000, man. That's the type of lie that they told. Man, I got 100,000 in the bank, nigga. And the nigga got $2,000 in the bank for real. Yo, like, are you serious, man? Like, damn, yo, I'm gonna sleep smiling on this one, yo. This is, oh my God, this is a heavyweight joint right here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is heavyweight, y'all.
Yeah, this
and
is
then, like I said, in this. Yo,
the gig is up, man. I know they sick when
every day.
Once they catch this video, they gonna be sick. And every day we just gonna keep watching it. I'm sorry, man. Listen, go burn your dashikis, burn your goddamn African emblems. Get rid of all that shit, man. Hashtag the gig is up, dog. Straight up.
Nigga gonna be sitting there. Nigga gonna have diarrhea and be throwing up at the same time. Nigga see this video. Nigga gonna have diarrhea and be throwing up at the same time and shit. Nigga. So they was drinking salt water? Now, really? So they was drinking salt water? I thought you can't drink salt water. Yo, like I said, man, like, yo, man, I'm about to shut this shit down. Yo.
Man,
yo, I'm about to shut this shit down.
Man, look when we can laugh, man, about that, man. Hey, this is a good bill, man. I can't wait to see the response on this one, man.
God damn, y'all. Yo, hit that like button, please. If you don't donate, man, you support your brother. Thanks for coming through anyway. That support is just coming through, getting the knowledge, because this is your information. Just even if you just teach your children, y'all, we gotta rewrite this. We gotta rewrite this, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we coming up with facts, and we showing you stuff. All right, is somebody telling you 20 million? If you want to believe that 20 million, you listen. I could tell if he went from 20 million to say, oh, nah, well, it was more like 18 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? But hold up, from 20 million to 33 million, because you know why? Because somebody gonna ask the right fucking question. Well, hold up. The French had it. The English took over the slave trade after a certain period of time. So if the English wasn't controlling that, then how you telling me that the high number of slaves came here? Because they got you thinking this. Remember, they got you thinking first the Spanish had it in the 1490s until like 15 something, and then the English took over it from 1619 until 1808, right? But wait. If the English did not have access to Goree Island, but only for 13 years, and the French took it back, and from 1677 until 1960, then you lied, because here we speak English. We don't speak French here unless you go in Louisiana, but 90% of the country speak English. 90% of the country was inhabited by Germanic fucking English people. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to start asking yourself this question. Where's the French at? The French in the Caribbean. So where's these people at? Because them colonies that the French own, it ain't that many people on them islands. Because the people was already there, man. The people was already there, man. The people was already there, man. What I believe Haiti, I believe the whole island's like 10 million people between Dominican Republic and Haiti. It's like 10 million people on that entire island. And they said it's like 5 million people in Haiti and 5 million people in Dominican Republic or whatever. So, like I said, you gotta start thinking about this shit, man. Start using your brain and start looking at how population, like, yo, man, ain't no people gonna be coming here. Like y'all had all these people there, and then now it's almost it just doesn't make sense when you really look at the numbers and you really do the real research to it, man. So, like I said, man, it's closing in on 2 o'clock where I'm at, man. Shout out to the brother AP, my brother Jaguar Omek. Thank y'all brothers for coming through.
Man,
Y'all want to let the
it's always a pleasure building on your platform, brother. You already know that's how the real heavy hitters come together with cohesiveness. Shout out to the big bro Jaguar. I always love your energy, bro. The information powerful. And you already know who it is here. This Aboriginal power. You know what I'm saying? It's get laid over here. But guess what? It ain't no overtime. It's a blowout. Just check the scoreboard. We winning. And we all we got, y'all. Peace.
Word, man. Much respect and much love to y'all brothers, man. And shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody who really stand for the true soul and true collective, uniting, progressive path for our people, man. You know, we still got our own lives and still got to do what we got to do, but, you know, let's take the time to really collectively, on a conscious level and subconsciously, man, take ourselves to space where we all can really just progress, just abundance of everything, man. Get our shit back, man, like it's supposed to be, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it lined up. All it takes is time and everybody connecting with the right people, man. Word.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you brothers for coming through, man. And we will be continuing the encyclopedia build. We gonna begin that probably tomorrow or sometime this week, definitely, because we gotta finish that up. That's a real heavyweight build. Um, but yeah, y'all see a lot to us, yo. I mean, I like ain't nobody gonna go from. Think about it, man. You use common sense, man, and you people, y'all know people who be lying out there, man. And you know when you be catching motherfuckers be over exaggerating and shit. A nigga tell you 20 million and find out it's only 33,000. Like what? That's like, yo, you'll look at a motherfucker and never believe nothing else a person say after that, man. You're like, what? You hold on. I thought it was 20 million, motherfuckers. Only 33 million, 33,000 here. But then they say, well, you should still be happy that that's your slave, that your people came. Ain't nobody come through there, you idiots, because the French ran it. We don't speak French. We wasn't controlled by French. We speak English. So our people, the people who violated us is the English. It wasn't the French. It was probably the French in certain areas. Okay. But for the meanwhile, from 1619 or from 1600s until now, the French been here. I mean, I'm sorry, the English been here. I'm getting tired, y'all, but the English been here. But like I said, man, y'all see the lies, you see the inconsistencies with stories. You see what they telling us? They just telling us a bunch of fucking riddles and a bunch of fucking bed night stories and shit to make you feel like, oh, I'm an African. Nah, nigga. America, Aborigine, stand the fuck up, man. Okay, stand up. Don't let these people tell you that you African. Don't let the people in our community tell you that you African. Okay, because this African shit is being exaggerated to the utmost too. Being very exaggerated. Okay, it's being very exaggerated, y'all. So with that being said, man, shout out to everybody that came through. I really appreciate y'all. Like I said, if you can hit the like button on the way out. Support Culture Freedom, hitting Culture America. Also support the brother Jaguar Omek channel. and the brother AP channel, man. Definitely support these brothers, man, because like I said, we could be doing anything in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? We definitely rocking with y'all, trying to teach y'all different history, whether you appreciate it, whether you don't appreciate it. You know, like I said, I'm here for the people, man. If you like to email me, like I said, I'm a little backed up on some emails and some numbers that brothers and sisters that I really gotta reach out to. Like I said, sorry, it's been taking me a minute though, but definitely sometimes actually my semester almost over with, so I can really start trying to travel, start trying to hook up with some of these people that's gonna be in the documentary. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, don't feel free to email me. That's Chief CH F Atanchan AUTOCHTHON at AL.com. All right. Appreciate everybody, all the brothers and sisters for coming out. Love y'all. Definitely do. All the regulars that come through here and leave the good comments, man. So with that being said, yo, it's almost 2 o'clock. I know people gotta get up and go get on that plantation in the morning time. So I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Shout out to all the Aborigines. Peace, y'all.